Rabbit Hole Roundup, episode 112, the most underrated NBA dunk contest, and the 5 best video game soundtracks. So guys, in today's edition of the Rabbit Hole Roundup, I'll be starting with our latest top 5 list segment being top 5 video game soundtracks of all time.
It's spherical! Spherical!
And all these games are in fact sports games because that's all I play. But back in the day, there was nothing like discovering a new song from a video game. Especially sports ones, of course. And then every time you open up the game, you get hyped to play from the song. Sometimes I think to myself a song makes the game better. But then other times, a game makes the song what it is. Following that, I want to share a clip talking about one of my biggest pet peeves being whenever someone says things like, oh, it's not like he's going to the pros or to the majors or to the NBA or whatever it may be.
Just the way you never got into the NHL!
First, if you don't set anyone's limits, and second of all, there's beauty to giving something your absolute all, because even if you don't make it to the pros or to the majors or whatever, you actually get way more out of the whole experience by going for it all. After that, I have a clip I want to share that talks about living in a gratitude mindset, and this is of course a reminder that all of us need to hear, I think. And this clip reminds us there's so many great things happening in all of our lives at any given time. So sometimes it's just up to us to reground ourselves, regroup, and gain an appreciation for where we're at right now. Not looking ahead, not looking behind, etc. And following that, I want to talk about the most underrated NBA dunk contest in history. And this, in my opinion, is what all NBA dunk contests from here on out should look like, or should have looked like over the past 10 years.
Let's go home! Let's go home, ladies and gentlemen!
So a video from this contest popped up on my Twitter feed recently. And this reminded me I don't think any of us realized how good we had it at that time. I mean, every dunk was creative, and the contest as a whole didn't feel rushed at all. It was an absolute entertaining event as a whole, and it felt well put together. And finally, of course, we'll dive into our sports recap, NBA talk, and whatever else I find. So anyways, without further ado, let's dive deeper now. Rabbit hole time, let's go.
This is your last chance. After this, there is no turning back. And I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes.
What's happening, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Jared Weiss. If you guys didn't know, that must mean that you're not subscribed to the channel, so you know what to do. Hit that subscribe button, be sure to leave a like, drop a comment, let me know your thoughts on the video. Follow me on every platform, and if you guys haven't done so already, make sure to check out my book, Fight Through by Jared Weiss. All links to purchase it on my website, which is jaredbryanweiss.com. That's JaredBryanWeiss.com. Buy the book, support me, and make sure to check out all the awesome shirts in there as well. Every shirt has been designed by me, every shirt is made of 100% organic cotton, so any support at all, as I'm always saying, would be very greatly appreciated. So let's dive deeper into this rabbit hole now. So, back in the day, there was nothing like discovering a new song from a video game, because it always took on a whole different feel.
Are you feeling it now, Mr. Krabs?
And this may even be the most underrated part of a video game, because of course every time you turn it on, you're gonna have to listen to it. So, it better have some bangers that are gonna get you hyped to play. So for today's top 5 list, I want to talk about the 5 best video game soundtracks in my opinion. And keep in mind, I really only play sports video games, so I apologize for any GTA lovers out there, or any other games that may have a solid soundtrack, I just don't know about them. So let's start from the back. Coming in at number 5, we have more of an aggregate, and I know it's supposed to be a top 5 list, and it's supposed to be which games have the best soundtracks, but this is my list, so I get to do what I want with it, so back off.
Me? Step off?
Yeah.
So we're going with the FIFA games of the early 2000s. If you know, you know. You can come across that whole genre of music and know right away, yep, that's a FIFA song. And sure enough, you'd probably be right. So now let's get more specific. Songs like Daylight by Matt and Kim, which of course was in FIFA 10, as well as I also just found out, I was mistaken experienced the whole Mandela effect when it came to the song Midnight City by M83.
This one is for Mandela!
I could have sworn that song was in one of those games too. But anyways, there's specific sound that made it into all those FIFA games that I can't fully describe, but it's a mix of chill vibes and chill pop, I guess you'd call it. Anyways, coming in at number 4, I'm actually combining 2 games. And I know you're probably saying to yourselves right now, what type of top 5 list is this so far? But trust me, it gets better, and you'll understand what I'm saying as I go on. So I'm talking NHL 04 and 05, and I'm saying that specifically because of 2 songs that made me love those games. Just 2, but those songs were enough to make me fall in love with the games. So hey, sometimes like that's all it takes. One song that you listen to over and over again and like can't wait for the game to bring it back up, and that defines the whole game playing experience. So NHL 04 was defined for me by the song Punk Rock 101 by the band Bowling for Soup. So that game actually introduced me to that band, who might just be like the most fun punk rock bands of all time, in my opinion. I mean, like, it's stupid, contagious, to be broke and famous, can someone please save us from Punk Rock 101? Love that song. And then like 05 we had the song Take Me Out by Franz Ferdinand. I couldn't tell you like any other songs by that group, but I don't have to because like that song did it for me. The final verse in that song, Beat Drop, is insane and gets you like so hyped to put some insane hits on other players in NHL. Number 3, we have NBA Street Volume 2. Once again, another game where like if you know, you know. So this game of course was like well known for Pete Rock's song They Reminisce Over You. But it also like has like a lot of other bangers too. You have the song Chief Rocker by Lords of the Underground. Live on Stage, I love that song by Dilated Peoples. And possibly my favorite song in the game, Not in My House by Nelly. And quick side note, Babito announcing every game in that game made that game what it was, which is like so much fun. Number 2, I'm going with NBA 2K13. Now if we're talking about like what game like has the most really good songs and like well-known songs, this one could very easily go number 1. But I'm going to be saving that spot like for a special favorite of mine. Anyways, if I'm not mistaken, Jay-Z actually took over the soundtrack for that game. If only he could do like as good of a job at picking Super Bowl performances halftime. Don't kill me. I said it, I had to say it. But he did actually crush it when it came to this game. So of course you have rap songs like Public Service Announcement by Jay-Z, And We Major by Kanye and Nas. You also have the song Shook Ones by Mobb Deep. The World Is Yours, like another great Nas song. Victory by Biggie, as well as like Diddy, I'm sorry to say it. You have Amazing by Kanye and Jeezy. And you also have like Run This Town and on to the next one, also by Jay-Z. And you also have Viva La Vida by Coldplay, as well as like 1901 by The Phoenix. Great song after great song, that soundtrack was so good. But now let's do drumroll please for the top spot on this list, which also happens to be like my favorite video game of all time, which I will be making that list soon as well. But the soundtrack for NFL Street 2 absolutely killed it. Now as far as like this soundtrack goes, I'm not sure, did the game make the soundtrack, or did the soundtrack make the game what it was? You have like a nice little chicken and the egg situation there?
Oh, it's the chicken and the egg.
But whatever it is, I could listen to those songs over and over and over again, and I do feel like the game made me love them, which is why like, it's so special. Of course you have the song Halftime by Yin Yang Twins, which my older brother and I used to think like Stand Up and Get Crunk was actually Schmiggle McGiggle. Schmiggle McGiggle, or Stand Up and Get Crunk. Then of course you also have like Can't Nobody Stop Me by Royce da 5'9", a sick hype song. You have the song Breathe, Stretch, Shake by Maze and also like Diddy of course once again. I hate to say it but like it is a great song. Then you have the song Tear It Up by DMX, Lil Flip and Young One, and David Banner. You have the song Hey Now by Exhibit and Carrie Hilson. And the song No Reason by Sum 41, amongst many other great songs. Anyways, let me know like what you think of my list, and any changes like you might make to that list. Now next up, I want to share a clip like that echoes a sentiment like that I've thought of for years, and even like talk about this in my book Fight Through It, which is like a huge pet peeve of mine, which is whenever someone says things like, it's not like he's going pro, it's not like he's going to the majors, it's not like he's going to the NBA, because like, it takes away from the whole experience. So let's watch this clip together.
My son Charlie plays baseball in college. He's 20. And right about now, he's getting ready to decide, if he's going to play over the summer for which league and all of that. And more than one person has said to me, what is the point of this? It's not like he's going to play for the major leagues. And I'm guilty of that too. I'm guilty of saying to myself, what is this point of playing? It's not like he's going to play professionally. And he gives up a lot to play, especially over the summer. Family vacations, barbecues, all of that. The summer leagues are often 6 games a week. And I was thinking the other day how my father-in-law, Charlie's grandfather, used to love going to all of Charlie's games. Ever since he was a little boy, he'd come and watch him play and just take such pride and delight. And my father-in-law's passed away now, but he made it to one last game. Last August, he had to use a cane to get up the bleachers, and At the end of the last inning, they stood together in the way they stood together for years, ever since Charlie was young, side by side. And I remember thinking, what if this is the big league? When did we stop thinking that a dream can just be a dream? It doesn't have to propel us to a professional level. Standing next to his grandfather on a hot August night, maybe that is the major leagues.
So first up, thank you for sharing this, and it was very well said. Now the reason why this statement is such a big pet peeve of mine, for so many reasons. So whenever you say things like, it's not like you're ever gonna go to the NBA, or it's not like you're going to the majors, or whatever variation you guys want to use. First up, how do you know that? Why put limits on someone when you've no idea what the person's capable of? And especially I always heard this from a young age, and I always hated it whenever someone said this, whether it was coming from another kid or a parent. I couldn't stand it. Now thankfully my parents would never say things like this around me, because of course I was always encouraged to dream as big as possible. And I think all of us have the God-given right to dream as big as possible. So saying things like that doesn't sit right with me, as someone who always believed anything is possible. The next reason why I hate this is because believing that you can go pro will give you a way more fulfilling experience, and you're always gonna get way further than the person who was too afraid to ever try. If you immediately go into something thinking of all your limits, that's the experience you're gonna get out of it, a limited one. But if you go in thinking to yourself I have unlimited potential, this could be amazing, and there's no telling how far I could get with this, well then, as the famous quote goes, reach for the stars, because even if you fall, you're gonna land amongst the clouds. And that's been the way I've always lived my life. And plus this whole mindset doesn't just go for the sport itself, but I believe it will translate into anything else you do in your life. And finally, as she just said, it's not just about the sport itself, but it's about having teammates and family come watch you, and believing in yourself, and having fun with it. So maybe that is the majors. Maybe for some people the majors is just getting all you can out of that experience. And on all levels, so it could be personal, it could be teammates, it could be social, physical, etc, etc. So once again, why put limits or say things to be a buzzkill to the whole experience? There's just no reason to it, in my opinion. In my mind, I'm just keep all that negative talk to yourself. And also, as one of my all-time favorite quotes goes, coming from the movie Pursuit of Happiness, is when Will Smith says, people can't do something themselves, they will tell you all the reasons why you can't do it, but if you want something, go get it, period. So don't let people like that ruin your awesome experience for you. Now next up, I want to share a clip talking about all the reasons why you need to be grateful for all the things that are going well in your life right now. So this girl, Laura, gives us a grounding reminder to be appreciative of where we're at right now. Let's watch together.
One of the reasons we feel crappy is because we don't spend enough time in gratitude and taking time to appreciate all the things that are going right. It's easy to focus on the negatives and the things that we don't have yet and the things that are going wrong, but how much time do you also spend giving gratitude, giving thanks, giving praise, and appreciating what we do have right here, right now, appreciating yourself for all the things that you're doing well and all the things that are going right. On any given day, you are doing hundreds of things well. You wake up, you make the bed, you brush your teeth. There's so many things that go right in your life, but we don't take time to appreciate that. We often just brush over those things and keep thinking about the gaps. But when we focus on the gains, what do we have to be grateful for? What can you give yourself credit for today? Everything changes because you start to just take a moment to also acknowledge the good, the positive, and the things that are working. But today, give yourself some praise and take time to appreciate what's going well and right and practice gratitude.
Gains versus gap mindset. I love that. So thank you so much for sharing that, Laura. And especially as a lifelong perfectionist who's so often my own harshest critic, I know that I always have to remind myself to do more of this. Now when it comes to having more gratitude, I think that sometimes we get too caught up in all the classic examples that those examples start to lose their power. You know what I mean? The whole be grateful you have a roof over your head. Be grateful that you have running water. Be grateful that you have access to clean, healthy food. And yes, being grateful for all those things is definitely super important. But I think for it to have a deeper meaning to us and to our nervous system as a whole, sometimes I think it's more important to get more personal when it comes to things to be grateful for. So as she said, think of all the things that are going well in your life right now. Maybe you just started up your own business. Maybe you have your own new social media account. And maybe you're not getting millions of likes or millions of orders, But have there been like a few really nice comments like you could be grateful for? Have there been like a few loyal supporters? Are there any family members or friends like who've done something nice for you recently? Did someone smile at you today? Maybe you actually made someone else smile today.
Blue City could use a good laugh.
What about me?
He didn't mention you.
Did you get the chance like to work on all your goals and dreams today? Even if you don't have them yet. I know that for me, sometimes like I get so caught up in the whole, I'm not there yet. So this actually takes away from all that I'm accomplishing and achieving right now. It takes away like from the joy and the appreciation for what I'm doing right now. You don't only have to be grateful for all the big things when they come. And it's not like just reserved for like when you achieve the big goal. And I know this of course, and like I'm always reminded of this. I'm always like reminded of like the love that I have for the journey and like where I'm at right now. But I think it's like normal every so often to lose sight of like where we're at and get like overly absorbed in the whole push and chase for that goal. So sometimes like we need this reminder to come back to the present moment and reground ourselves and like get happy with where we're at and like appreciative for where we're at. Because there are definitely a lot of like really great things happening with us right now, even if we're not there yet. Now before we segue into the current sports and like NBA talk, I came across a video recently of the 2013 NBA dunk contest, and I think like we'll have to revisit this, because this may have been like the most underrated dunk contest of all time, and this is like a reminder of how great a dunk contest could be and should be. So this contest starts off with Serge Ibaka coming out with like NBA cheerleaders by his side, holding NBA Africa flags behind him. He proceeds like to take off from behind the free throw line, and this was actually legit, not the Jackson Hayes 10 feet in from the free throw line. But this was like legit, and like I don't think we talk about like how good Serge was in this dunk contest. He didn't even make it to the finals though. And you're gonna see why in a second. From there we had one of the best and most creative 7-footer dunks coming from JaVale McGee as he threw the ball off one backboard and proceeds like to dunk 2 balls on separate hoops. Now this is like how to get it done as a 7-footer in a dunk contest. Do something that like shorter dunkers can't do, because anything else isn't going to look as good, like, and isn't going to be as impressive. Then we have Blake Griffin hit nasty off one leg 360 with power. Then came the DeMar DeRozan scoop dunk, which had like a ton of style and flair to it. Now let me remind you, this was all done in the first round. 0 bad or non-creative dunks in that round. Then we have a little kid come out onto the court claiming like he lost his stuffed animal, and where is it? It's on top of the rim. Serge Ibaka then manages like to bite the animal off the rim and dunks it too. If that's not like presentation and showmanship, then like I don't know what is. Then we have Blake Griffin take a pass off the side of the backboard and windmill it. Full power 2-handed windmill. After this, JaVale McGee again does something like that no one else could do, and he sets a world record by dunking 3 balls at once. And one of those was actually off a lob. I'm not sure like if any of us appreciate like how difficult that dunk is and like how much coordination is involved. And how much like concentration a dunk like that takes to complete. Then we have Blake Griffin go off the backboard, one leg into an unexpected honey dip elbow in the rim dunk, with ridiculous power once again. Then we have JaVale do another crazy difficult dunk again. So he does like a cradle dunk, but finishes on the other side of the hoop. I'm not sure like if I've ever seen this done. And of course, to finish things off in this dunk contest, we have the famous, most well-known one from this one, where Blake Griffin has a choir sing to him, as he jumps like over the front of a car and takes the pass from Baron Davis and slams it home with 2 hands. Now I just like want to put this out there. I'm not sure like if we realize like how good we had it at that time. I feel like people used to always complain about like overdoing the presentation and using like way too many props. Well, now look at what we have. A minute to dunk for every dunker. No emotion, no creativity. Dunker just like does the dunk, walks off. Or misses every dunk and walks off. I would love for the NBA dunk contest to go back to like this level of creativity. Even if it's like corny to have a choir sing to you. Or a kid who loses his toy on the rim. That was like when the dunk contest was something like all of us would look forward to. And it was like a pure night of entertainment. And each and every dunker came super prepared and had showmanship too. Anyways, what do you guys think? Am I right here? Was this not like the most underrated dunk contest of all time? Watching it back now? Anyways, down to our sports recap, NBA talk, let's go now. So now to start this week's sports recap, what are they feeding these guys at the NFL Combine? I mean, like, I'm not sure like whether these measurements are being done incorrectly, or if like the players' training has just like improved that much. But some of the numbers like from this combine in particular have been like insane. For instance, you have Eli Stowers hitting a 45.5-inch standing vertical jump which happens to be like the highest since 2006, which I'm pretty sure was like Calvin Johnson's 46-inch jump. Then you also have like a quarterback, Taylor Green, hitting a 43.5-inch vertical jump and like a 134-inch broad jump to go along with a 4.36 40. This guy's a quarterback, not a running back. It's insane. And then like on top of that, you have this safety who looks like an Avenger, Lorenzo Styles, running a 4.27 40 and jumping like 43.5 inches. And then like his brother, I think, ran a 4.46 as a linebacker. Both guys are out of Ohio State. Crazy. And also, like, even the linemen from this draft are putting up insane numbers. And look, of course, as all of us know, combine numbers like don't make you a great NFL player, but having athleticism doesn't hurt. And it's like, well, it's true. So like, I saw a stat the other day that said that like, I think there's only been 1,000-yard receiving season coming from one of these top 40 times. But I do think like it forces everyone to level up their game. It's basically the same thing like when it comes to the whole dunk contest. You don't get a Mac McClung without the whole pro dunking movement going to what it's grown to. There's a reason why like even the worst dunks from today would still like destroy basically all the dunks from like 30 to 40 years ago. So it's not just like nothing when you see these guys putting up insane numbers at the combine. It doesn't mean like all these guys are going to be stars automatically, but it does force the stars themselves to have to level up their athleticism in order to like to keep up with all these freaks. So anyways, really cool stuff. I'm like an athletic performance nerd when it comes to all this stuff. And it also like inspires me as an athlete myself, so like I love it. Next up, if the reports are true, Jason Tatum's return is imminent, and may even like happen by tonight if I'm not mistaken. The Celtics are looking like a dangerous team right now. I mean, with no Tatum, this season was supposed to be like a throwaway season for them. But of course, it's been like the total opposite. Jaylen Brown has turned into like a legit MVP candidate. He's putting up like almost 30 points a game, 7 rebounds, and 4 assists, I think. Peyton Pritchard's been crushing it off the bench, and then like on top of that you have this guy Queta who's been balling recently, and Gonzalez, the rookie, Hugo Gonzalez has been balling out. And also like Nikola Vucevic has been like a key underrated addition to that team. He's always been like a super consistent big man, and he's been balling recently, and so like, he definitely adds like a whole other dimension to the Celtics team and offense. And honestly, every role player on the team has played their role to perfection. The whole Celtics system like is still continued. And so like that team can definitely be like a surprise contender in the East. Now of course, don't get me wrong, I'm still picking the Pistons or Knicks over them probably. But it's not a wash, and like it won't be an easy road for any of those teams. So suddenly, between Tatum returning and also like Giannis returning, the East definitely got like a little bit more interesting. The Knicks better clean up their act, and like they have done so recently with like a big win over the Spurs the other night. Mikal Bridges has definitely picked it up, and like Cat has been playing better. But he and the rest of that team are going to have to be like way more consistent. Now moving over to the Pistons, I would say like if the season were to end right now, I would be picking Cade Cunningham for MVP. As of right now, Cade is currently putting up 25.5 points a game, almost 10 assists and like almost 6 rebounds. And of course, as we all know, he's a big physical guard who's leading the push for the best team in basketball at the moment. And also like with only one other All-Star in Jalen Duren. Now I also gotta give credit to my guy Tobias Harris, who as I always remind you, like his dad used to coach me in AAU. And I also like once hit like 3 shots over him in a practice, just saying. But he's been playing really well recently too. And of course, part of Cade's MVP is due like to the whole process of elimination, because of all the new rules when it comes like to the 65 game minimum that like every player has to play to be considered for postseason awards. But Cade is also playing the part too. He's clutch, he plays both ends of the court really well, and his team is winning. Okay, so like now it's time to shift over to my favorite team, and the one like who I love covering the most, the Lakers. I said it last week and I'll say it again, every week with this team is like a whole different story. It's basically a whole different narrative shift from week to week. One week it's like, let's trade everyone in the offseason, the season is a wash. I mean, last week this team lost like to the undermanned Suns, and then like they also had a bad loss to the Magic. Those were definitely some bad losses, and like the team was definitely in disarray. And of course, Luka was getting a ton of criticism, and like LeBron was getting the rest. And some of this had merit, other of it like was definitely way overblown, I think. I do think like Luka is an incredible individual player. You can't deny like his talent. But as I've been saying all season, he doesn't play defense. And sometimes like the ball gets so stuck with him that like every other player gets like out of rhythm. Which is of course tough for someone like LeBron, who's so used to like having the ball in his hands to create for others and like for himself. Now also let me remind you, LeBron James at 41 years old is still averaging 21, 7, and 6. The challenge like with this team as a whole is defense. And it's tough to win like when your three best players are mostly defensive liabilities. But also we can't forget like the whole supporting cast too. The supporting cast definitely has like its flaws, I think. Now I'm not giving up on this team just yet. I'm with Shaq and like I do think this team can win a playoff series and like they can get hot after that. You never know. But we also saw like Luka get into a heated disagreement with JJ Redick the other night. So are things falling apart behind the scenes? It could be like because JJ wants to give an effort on defense. And then like the whole hesitation when it came to that last second shot last week was definitely like very odd. I don't know, but like I will say that like against the bad teams, the team could look incredible. I mean like against the Warriors over the weekend, they blew them out. Against the Kings last week, they blew them out. But against the good teams who have like a built-in system and to move the ball well, like and who defend well, and who have like a dominant paint presence, which I still think the Lakers sort of lack, the Lakers definitely struggle against those teams. So do we actually know the Lakers' ceiling? I don't know for sure. I mean like with that big three of Reeves, Luka, and LeBron, the team should at the very least be like very good and consistent on offense. But if there's like problems behind the scenes with Luka and JJ, or even like Aiden complaining about his role on the team might not go very far if that's the case. Now I do actually really like everything like Luke Kennard has been doing ever since he came to the team. He's been shooting great. And I do like a lot of the other pieces too. I just feel like someone's gonna have to make more sacrifices, or maybe like all of them will. Luka's gonna have to like give the ball up more. LeBron's gonna have to like give more of a consistent effort on defense because like the other guys aren't going to. Reeves may have to be like okay with playing with the second unit more, like to give them more of a spark. Whatever the case though, if the team doesn't want like a repeat of last year's playoff series, some things are gonna have to be like way more consistent. But I'm not gonna get like my hopes up too much or panic too much based on like a few good games or a few bad games. Now also, like, did all of us see that fight between Jokic and Dort last week? That went from 0 to crazy in 2.5 seconds. I mean like for anyone out there who says like Joker doesn't have any passion, well, he literally turned into the Joker. And I didn't see like anything leading up to that play, but it looked like a really dirty play from Lou Dort, who other players seem to think like is an overall dirty player. And so this appears to be like a totally valid crash out from Jokic. And I don't get like why the Thunder seem to get away with more than like every other team out there. But this was a super dirty play, and like I like seeing the passion coming from Jokic. He was actually showing some emotion, which is like rare to see from him. Did Dort say something about like his horses and like insult them maybe? I don't know. But good on Joker for standing up for himself. And I'm sure Dort's gonna think twice about pulling something like that again. Now finally, elsewhere around the NBA, last night we also saw Jamal Murray go for 45 against the Jazz, and like Keontae George was matching him blow for blow as he put up like 34, I think. That was a pretty exciting matchup. Even though of course like as we all know, the Jazz are like the masters of tanking right now. And also like another interesting team like who I've been watching a little bit has been the Hawks. I mean like I don't see this team going anywhere, but yet like they do actually have like an odd collection of misfits, I feel like. I mean like for instance, everyone was claiming like CJ McCollum just got like thrown into the whole Trae Young trade, but like everyone forgets like he's actually a really good player. He's consistently averaging like over 20 a game over the past like 10 years maybe. And then on top of that you also have like Jonathan Kuminga, who's been balling ever since the Warriors finally gave him his freedom, which like he deserved. He's been showing out. Jalen Johnson, of course, is a great player. Dyson Daniels. So once again, not saying this team is going anywhere, but like, it's definitely an interesting combination of misfits. And one final note coming from the sports world. I'm not claiming like, to watch G League basketball a ton, but I can definitely do follow it whenever I see like, some of my favorite players in the G League. So like for instance, we have Mac McClung, as you guys know by now, one of my favorites. He and Yuki Kawamura for the Windy City Bulls have been balling out, and like that seems like Showtime fun. And so like while the NBA is basically outlawed undersized players for the most part, these guys have been taking over. I mean like Kawamura had like a 19 assist game last week. Mac's been doing some like crazy dunks of course, and he's been like putting up like 30 a game. He's been insane. I would love to see like both those guys balling for like the actual Bulls, but like we'll see. For right now though, that team is like the Showtime of the G League. Anyways, that's sports recap for the week. Let me know your thoughts down below. Let's go back to the video now. Anyways, that's the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys liked what you heard, make sure to leave a like, drop a comment, subscribe to the channel. I will catch you guys next time. Stay positive, stay hustling, stay grinding. Catch you next time. Peace.